What's up guys, my name is Ace, and recently we had a really deep look at the Signal Lure field upgrade in Black Ops 6, and this prompted several comments of people asking me to cover Warcry as well. So let's dive into that one. In the description for this field upgrade, it says rally your team, improving nearby allied movement speeds and health regeneration. So pretty straightforward, but what are the details on this? How close do you have to be to those teammates? Do these effects also apply to you? And how good are these effects themselves? So diving right in, let's have a look at our charge time first, since this is a key element with field upgrades. And unfortunately, Warcry is one of the slower charging field upgrades at 125 seconds, or 88 seconds if you're using the Gearhead perk. And this can feel especially slow at times, since the active duration of Warcry is just 15 seconds. So you're waiting 125 seconds for 15 seconds of use. However, when you activate this, it will boost your movement speed by 10% almost across the board. When it comes to tactical sprint speed, it appears to only boost that by about 5%. But when it comes to your base movement speed, your sprint speed, and even your aim walking movement speed, all of these values are boosted by 10% for those 15 seconds while this is active. So definitely a nice, very noticeable benefit there. However, that's not all. It also significantly boosts our health regeneration. Normally, without this field upgrade active, your base healing delay, so the time it takes before you even start healing after you take damage, this is 3.5 seconds. Whereas with Warcry, this is now just 1.5 seconds. So very big improvement there. However, it also helps your healing rate. By default, our base heal rate is about 40 HP per second, whereas with Warcry, it's 240 HP per second. So it's almost instant once you start healing. And when we look at it side by side here, you can see just how much of a night and day difference this is. You heal very, very quickly. And this will often explain those situations where you deal damage to somebody, they take cover for just a very brief period of time, and then they re-challenge you, and then you deal a bunch more damage to them, and there's no kill, and there's no separate hit marker, which you would normally get if they were using like a stim shot, for instance. That's not the case with Warcry. So while that charge time is long and that 15-second duration is quite short, within those 15 seconds, you're gaining quite a bit of power from Warcry, especially when it comes to this health regeneration time. Now, to top all that off, as the description states, these effects also apply to teammates that are within a radius of you. So let's have a look at how close those teammates need to be. And I was very surprised to see that the range on this is 38 meters. I thought they were gonna have to be standing like within 10 meters of you and they'd have to be really close. But no, it's a 38-meter radius surrounding you. And on many of the maps in this game, that's gonna cover the vast majority of the map, or at least the majority of the side of the map that your team is currently controlling. So this effect can often apply to essentially your entire team when you activate it, and they get the exact same effects I just outlined. So they get the same movement speed boost and the same health regeneration boost, even if they aren't using this field upgrade themselves. Now you might be wondering what happens if they're within that radius when you activate it, but then they run away from you and they get beyond that 38-meter radius. Do they immediately lose these effects? And the answer to that is no. They maintain these effects. They just have to be within 38 meters of you at the time of activation, and then they get these effects for the duration of that, for the full 15 seconds. And this is also true even if you die after activating Warcry and giving them those effects. Those effects don't immediately disappear for them. They will continue to last for that 15-second duration for them. So in all, looking at these effects and how big that radius is, and the fact that those teammates maintain those effects no matter what, at least for the duration or until they die, that makes Warcry a very powerful and, in my opinion, underrated field upgrade in this game. I always thought it was a pretty good field upgrade, but I didn't realize just how good it actually is. Now, in saying that, it does feel a little bit jarring that you have such a large charge time for such a short duration, but I definitely see why this is the case now, because for those 15 seconds, that's a lot of power that potentially your entire team is gaining for those 15 seconds. So after all of this, I definitely see myself using Warcry more often than I was previously. I barely touched it in the past, but now I know just how powerful it is. And with that, I'm just curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Now that you guys have seen exactly how Warcry works, and how it also applies to your teammates, how are you feeling about this field upgrade? Do you guys really like this? Do you see yourself using it more often? Or maybe not? Do you think it's maybe too weak and the charge time is too long for that 15-second duration? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.